with the launch of Lightfall brought the brand new loadout and mod system, which unfortunately happened to nullify all of our old builds. So that means it's time to come back and revamp those builds to work in the new version of armor mods and systems. Today, we are going back to the classic Titan build, the Bonk Hammer, paired with the exotic Synthoceps. This is a staple to the Titan class, as it allows you to just throw your hammer at enemies, gaining a damage boost to that hammer with one of our aspects, as well as the exotic perk of Synthoceps, which gives you up to 200% damage boost to melee damage when surrounded by enemies, and then sit in a sunspot and essentially never die, especially paired with the new Solar 3.0 fragments we got this season. If we add in some of the artifact mods that give us improved firebolt nades, as well as a second charge, it takes it to the next level. If you enjoy this video, a like and subscription means a ton and helps out a lot. Now let's get into it. Starting with our subclass, as always, we are going to choose the Hammer of Soul Super, paired with whatever barricade and movement ability that suits your fancy, then obviously the Throwing Hammer and Firebolt Nades. If you aren't wanting to use artifact mods this season, then Solar Nades will work just fine. Our aspects are going to be Roaring Flames, which increases the damage of solar abilities when we get final blows with them, or ignitions, and then this stacks up to 3 times. Soul Invictus is the second aspect here, which allows us to spawn sunspots at the point of a final blow with any solar ability. These sunspots allow us to regenerate our abilities faster, and drains our super slower when standing in one. These sunspots also apply Scorch and damage enemies nearby, while also applying restoration to us just by standing in the sunspot. Our fragments are going to be the Ember of Mercy. When you revive an ally, you and other nearby allies gain restoration, and picking up a fire sprite also grants restoration. On top of that, a plus 10 to resilience. This pairs incredibly well with another fragment as well as an artifact mod that allows you to spawn a fire sprite when you damage an enemy with a firebolt grenade. The second fragment here is going to be the Ember of Resolve, which grants you cure when you get a final blow with a grenade. Ember of Ashes will follow, which applies more Scorch stacks to targets when you Scorch one. The last fragment here is going to be the Ember of Torches. Damaging an enemy with your powered melee attack makes you and nearby allies radiant, while taking a minus 10 stat hit to your discipline. The combination of our subclass and exotic alone allow us to do a ton of work to enemies in close range, while nuking higher tier enemies on top of gaining a constant restoration and cure buff. For stat recommendations, artifact mods, weapons, and mods, here's what I recommend. For stats, resilience, recovery, and discipline. Since we want to have as much of a damage resistance as possible, on top of faster health regeneration if we don't have a sunspot, and then more grenades. Obviously, the goal of this build is to have sunspots up as much as possible, so don't worry too much about recovery. Strength could also be a play here if you find yourself losing your hammer a lot. For the artifact mods, here's what I recommend. Authorize mods solar, authorize mods grenades, and then if you want to utilize the strength of firebolt grenades this season, pick up Solar Surge, Flare Up, as well as Rain of Firebolts to gain a armor charge by picking up a fire sprite, then apply more Scorch to enemies with firebolts, as well as creating a fire sprite upon the impact of that grenade, and then finally have a second firebolt grenade charge. For weapons in this build, it won't matter too much since you're mostly using abilities for kills, but Callous Mini Tool, as well as a Chill Clip Fusion, so you can stun every champion while radiant, and then you could run a solar heavy such as Galahorn. These are all just recommendations though, feel free to use what you want. Moving over to the mods in this build, on my helmet we have 2 hands on, so we can get our super incredibly fast due to us constantly getting kills with our hammer. On the arms, we're going to go with Impact Induction, which reduces our grenade cooldown when we deal damage with our melee, then Heavy-Handed to create orbs of power with melee final blows, and lastly, Grenade Kickstart to gain grenade energy back when we have armor charges and fully expend our grenade energy. On the chest, run 2 charged ups so you can hold up to 5 stacks of armor charges total. You could swap one of these out for a reserves mod if you want. On the boots, I have stacks on stacks, so we get 2 armor charges from picking up 1 orb of power, then an Innervation to get grenade energy back from picking up an orb, and then finally Solar Surge to get a nice damage boost to our solar weapon. You can stack 2 of these and take off the Innervation if you want, or run 2 Innervations. It's up to you how you want to play this. Finally, on the class item, I have 2 bombers as well as a time dilation, so our solar weapon surges last longer. You could, however, stack 2 time dilations if you want to, or you can choose to stack 3 bombers if you are not running solar weapon surges. The choice is up to you on how you want to build this. This build is a staple to Titans and actually got even better with the new mod system paired with the new fragments we got this season, which is kind of ridiculous. This is easily one of the strongest Titan builds in the game, allowing you to have insane survivability at any level of content, as we are getting a large boost to our melee damage with the aspects and exotics in this build, allowing us to create sunspots so we can survive longer. If you are a Titan main, you definitely need to have this build in your arsenal if you don't already. If you enjoyed the video, let me know down in the comments below. If you want to check out some more of my content, come on over to my Twitch stream and TikTok. Both will be linked in the description. I appreciate you all making it to the end of the video. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.